So what was it like working as a mechanic?
It was great, but now my body is paying the price.
And how old are you?
26.
Sometime from now, you're going to be waiting at least 2 weeks for a brake job. The industry says it has a mechanic shortage. Today, I'm reacting to a new program that claims it can rescue repair shops. And I'll tell you frankly, whether it'll help your car. So let's go to YouTube.
Well, if your car needs work, it could end up taking longer. There is a national shortage of mechanics, and to help meet the growing need in Tampa, the city is launching a new workforce initiative. News Channel 8's Alessandra Young joins us live to explain a little bit more about the program, one of those trades that really needs people.
Hey there, Stacey. So if one of us has a problem with our cars, a lot of us rely on mechanics for help. Because of the shortage we're seeing across the entire country, Tampa's rolling out a new program called Gear Up. Getting your car worked on can take longer these days because there just aren't enough people with hands-on experience.
Cars have gotten so techy and computerized and stuff. Your average shade tree mechanic can't just go get a job anywhere because he's not going to have that technical experience to work on cars.
Dusty Cox at Olin Mott on Kennedy Boulevard spends his days fixing cars and says the shortage is impacting his shop.
My guys typically work a 5.5 work day. They work from 7:30 to 5:30 most of the time. Yeah, because we have our busy days.
To help combat this growing gap, the city of Tampa is partnering with Hillsborough College to help students graduate with the certifications they need.
The Gear Up program.
Yeah, so let's just pause right there because this video, let me give an overall synopsis. It outlines a new program to train technicians and connect them with shops. And that's a big promise. What they want to do is to shorten repair times, cut repair bills, and keep shops open. And I'm going to give 3 practical things you can do as a car owner right now to survive the shortage that's coming.
Exemplifies its mission by building a direct workforce pipeline to meet the growth in the automotive industry for skilled workers.
The Pew Research Project projects a gap of nearly 24 million skilled workers by 2028.
Through Gear Up, these students will be job ready to meet the growing demands.
They have hands-on here 15 hours per week, and the city of Tampa pays for their tuition up to almost $13,000 per student annually.
Through Gear Up, officials say that these students are going to be graduating completely debt-free to get a jump and head start on their careers. For Now Live in Tampa, I'm Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.
This whole pitch is clean and optimistic, but 2 things I noticed. They talk about training pipelines, which is good, but they don't show how fast the trainees get certified. And 2, they don't show how the shop economics. Now, who pays the trainee during training? Now, for example, if training takes 6 months and the shop cover the wages, this program could be expensive for a small shop to host them. This is a good social proof, but testimonials are just one-sided right now. They want data in terms of retention rates, placement rates, and sample the shop profit loss during training. Testimonials are very important, but numbers will win the algorithm and the consumer. If they can show a 70% placement into paying tech roles within 90 days, that will be totally clear. I remember it was just a few weeks ago, the Ford CEO, Jim Farley, came out and said there is a shortage of mechanics, especially at Ford dealers. Let's recap what he has to say.
This morning when I woke up, there were 6,000 bays in our dealerships with no technicians. So can't get my car fixed. No, 2 weeks. Average wait is 2 weeks. Not because we don't have the parts, we don't have the mechanics. Factory workers, construction workers, farmers, all the people that move things, truck drivers, rail workers, and people fix things, plumbers, electricians, HVAC, all the people that basically work with their hands.
Why is there a shortage of these workers?
Well, it's a complicated problem, but there is, let's put it that way, literally 1 million openings right now. Technicians and dealerships working on cars. At Ford, we have 6,000, probably 400,000 repair technician shortages across the economy. First of all, the productivity has not caught up with the white collar. In fact, it's gone down over the last 20 years. Number 2, the jobs aren't as glamorous as a white collar job from college. And I think the permitting and all the regulations has really stunted the growth of these kind of jobs.
Our culture and our society created this problem because right throughout growing up, when you watch TV, social media, the emphasis has always been the guy in the suit. And they pay less emphasis about the men who actually build and maintain our infrastructure. Fewer techs mean longer turnaround times, higher labor rates, and there will be inflated parts markup as shop chase the profit. A solid training pipeline can shorten waits, but only if it's scalable. It has to be regionally available and funded without bankrupting the shop that hosts the trainees. Now, if you own a car and you go to a particular shop, or at least a shop that you would normally go to get your car fixed, and if that shop is always packed or swamped, you can ask about their trainee apprentice program. Maybe they're hosting trainees. You can ask for a realistic weight estimate and get it in text. And you can get a secondary quote from another independent shop up front just to try to shop around. But to how things are going right now, the alarm bells have been sounding. If the funding is from grants or OEM-backed scholarship, that's great and that's scalable. If the model asks the shop to front wages with a promise of later reimbursement, that's a non-starter for tiny independent shops. And also, we have to try to remember is that these training, they have to be registered and certified by the recognized industry and bodies. If not, the trainees might still need the extra shop level ramp up time. But all these programs are viable, they're very good, but they're not addressing the monkey in the room, which is the problem of the salary and the pay. Most mechanics, they walk away from being a mechanic because of the long, rigorous hours they have to work, the back-breaking work they have to do, and most importantly, the small amount of salary or the pay structure that they have to endure working at both dealerships and independent shops. And to make it more clear, take a look at our next video or someone in the field explaining the pay structure of being a mechanic.
What a great question, and I'm so sorry that I did not address this in my last video, but the flat rate pay system is the automotive flat rate pay system is a method of billing customers and paying technicians based on a set flat fee per job. That flat fee is based on hours. So every single job out there has a predetermined set amount of hours. Let's say a brake job will pay 2.2 hours if we're lucky. Okay. So if I skip a whole bunch of steps and do that brake job in 20 minutes, or if I run into a bunch of rust issues on a vehicle and it wasn't billed or quoted properly to the customer, and I spend 5 hours on that brake job, doesn't matter. Either way, I get paid 2.2 hours. Now, let's say that my hourly rate, when I first started out on the lube rack, my hourly rate was $10 a flat rate hour. And then the highest I ever got paid before I worked for myself was $25 a flat rate hour. So once again, if I work an 8-hour day and I only have 2 jobs that both bill about 2 hours, I will make 4 hours of pay, even though I was at work, clocked in, grinding for 8 hours. Now, on the flip side, let's say that I get lucky and I'm stuck in a bunch of warranty work that is software updates, and it bills an hour, and I can have multiple of these going in my shop at a time, right? I got 4 of them downloading a software update in the same hour. Well, maybe I can bill 4 hours in 1 hour of actual work, let's say. So that is the flat rate system. It's basically a worse version of commission or the gig economy. And in most cases, like unlike servers that make tips, so kind of commission, right? Kind of similar thing. We don't have any guaranteed base hourly wage. Now, this is not standard across every single automotive job out there. I have a couple friends that have salary positions, which is really as technicians, which is phenomenal. I did work a job that had an hourly guaranteed pay, but then a flat rate bonus. I made like sort of like a low hourly pay, like $18 an hour. But then if I made a certain flat rate bonus, I would get $1 an hour on top of that added in. So if I made 40 hours, if I made 45 hours, if I made 50 hours, a lot of times I would end up at the end of the week billing $30 a flat rate hour based on the commission system. So very, very long answer to your question. But basically, yeah, each job, that is the amount of time you get paid for it, regardless of how long actually takes. What a
And that is why a lot of seasoned mechanic, experienced mechanics, and even apprentices are walking away from the dealership and shop environment to go work in other industries that actually pays more, utilizing the very same skill set. Now, as an owner in the future, it is going to be a little bit rough. So here are some things you can actually do to try to mitigate some of the problems you foresee. Book maintenance early, because you're going to have to assume that the lead times are going to be longer for parts orders, and keep a repair fund. Expect surprises to cost more and take a little longer. You can ask shops, are you training techs? What's your average repair lead time? And use those answers to choose who you can trust most going forward. This program shows a little promise, but promises don't fix the base overnight. And the core question is funding and scale. If the initiative is fully funded, not just promises, and it can get techs into shops in between 60 to 90 days, it will move the needle. Until then, this is just another optimistic start, not a full fix. And I'll be watching the data and following this, and you should too. Now, at the time of doing this reaction, this video has about 1,800 views, posted 3 days ago, and it only has about 10 comments. Let's read some of them. The first one says, all of this doesn't mean anything unless the dealership and in the shops bring the average technician's salary to at least $50 to $100 an hour. You can't expect techs to invest their time and money to learn these specialized skills. Expect them to buy $25,000 to $40,000 in specialized tools and work for $20 to $35 per hour. That's why you can't find techs, aka suckers, willing to enter the auto mechanic trade anymore. People aren't as stupid as you think they are anymore. They can go into electrical, plumbing, IT, or cybersecurity, make more money comfortably without the costly investments in tools and equipment. Lastly, they won't have excessive wear and tear on their bodies, which is basically true. Any experienced or seasoned mechanic will tell you that. Next one says shortage of pay. One says do a news report on flat rate pay these mechanics are getting. The other problem I have is to take my truck to the dealership. I looked into 2 specialized mechanics and they wouldn't even touch my truck because of the tech. Their short answer was engine swap, and when I know it's not even severe, no check engine, I take care of my stuff. So yeah, I believe they're also losing money. Another one says the shortage is because there's no money in mechanics anymore. Dealership rape their employees. All the GMs make all the money and they hand down their scraps to the techs. Best pay is German cars, or be your own boss. Well, there's at least 3 more, but I won't get into that. I will leave the link to this video in the comments below. For those who own a shop, is your shop struggling? What's the average wait time where you live? I'll try to pin the best replies so everyone can see. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if this helped you plan for your next visit to a mechanic shop, and I will catch you in the next episode.